Local coverage you can count on. This is Wayne 15 News at noon.
A high-speed chase with police in a stolen car ended in a crash south of downtown Fort Wayne and a suspect in custody. Good afternoon, I'm Emily Dwyer.
And I'm Pat Hoffman. Fort Wayne police say it all started around 5:30 this morning after the car was reported stolen from a home on Bowser Avenue. Hours later, the owner let police know that GPS showed the vehicle was in the 3000 block of Hoagland. Officers located the stolen vehicle parked along the street. As police approached the car, the driver, identified as Jandre Mitchell, took off at a high rate of speed with police pursuing him. He eventually crashed into several parked vehicles near Hoagland and DeWald Street. Mitchell sustained minor injuries and was treated at a hospital. He now faces several charges. A man is fighting for his life after he was shot inside his house last night. Police say it happened while he was eating dinner. They say the suspect fired gunshots from the front yard of the home in the 4600 block of Weiser Park Avenue. The man was shot in the back and arm. Officers collected nearby surveillance video but are still asking for any tips from the public. If you have information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 436-STOP or use the free P3 Tips app.
The third and final person involved in the death of 11-month-old Mercedes Lane has been sentenced. Her mother, Tiffany Coburn, will spend 2.5 years in prison. Coburn pleaded guilty last month to neglect of a dependent under a plea agreement. Police found Mercedes' body in a wooded area near the Marshall-Stark County line last August. A family friend, Justin Miller, was sentenced last month to 65 years in prison for killing the girl. Mercedes' father, Kenneth Lane, pleaded guilty last month to neglect of a dependent and was also sentenced to 2.5 years in prison.
Today is the final day to submit bids to become Fort Wayne's new trash collector. From what we know so far, 4 companies are interested in servicing the city. 2 of them are based in Indiana, 1 is in Michigan, and 1 in Nebraska. Fort Wayne is requiring the interested bidders to have experience with a similar-sized or larger city that has alleys, as well as operations in Indiana or connecting states. 5th District Councilman Jeff Paddock told us last week that the goal is to make sure the Red River situation won't happen again.
This City Council will be scrutinizing this bid very, very carefully because all of us have, seen the repercussions of the Red River contract that was awarded some 4.5 years ago now. We do not want to go through that again, and the citizens of Fort Wayne will demand better.
A bill preventing a Red River repeat is heading to Governor Eric Holcomb's desk, where he will decide if it will become a law. It passed the Indiana Senate by a unanimous vote. The legislation would change how cities select trash contractors. It would allow a request for proposal process rather than the contract automatically being awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. The bill won't go into effect quickly enough for Fort Wayne's current bid process for a new hauler. The city hopes that the new hauler will start in July.
Meanwhile, residents are still complaining about missed trash pickups. To help, the city of Fort Wayne has shifted 17 employees from parks, street, and city utilities departments to help pick up the slack. 8 trash trucks are en route in the evenings and on weekends. The city is looking to hire seasonal truck drivers to help and asked for assistance from 5 other area haulers.
Now, your first weather from the live Doppler 15 Fury Weather Center.
Well, we are looking at beautiful conditions. It's really starting to warm up kind of slowly here, a lot slower than it did yesterday. As soon as we get those winds to kick up this afternoon, it's going to be a much faster process, but it is kind of nice. Here's the way it looks out on Lake James right now. This is the Dry Dock Marine camera, and we're seeing a few clouds. We're going to see that increase of clouds throughout the afternoon. Looks like a beautiful start of the day across the Lutheran Hospital camera. Well, we are seeing some of these areas where there are showers towards the northwest. This weather system is going to start to move in over the next several hours. That'll give us some scattered showers through tonight. Watch what happens with those temperatures as today's highs in the 50s turn to lows in the 20s and then highs tomorrow afternoon only into the mid-30s. Big temperature drop coming. 45 right now with some sunshine, 50 at 2 o'clock, and lower 50s at 5. We'll tell you more about that temperature drop coming up.
All right, thanks for that, Greg. New at noon, an influx of housing is coming to New Haven in the form of rental homes and apartments. According to a city spokesperson, plans call for an apartment complex to be built at State Road 930 and South Maple Crest Road. It will include 300 units that are being described as villa style. There are also plans to build more than 260 rental homes at Minnick and Seiler Roads. Both proposed projects will go in front of the New Haven Plan Commission on Tuesday, March 8th at 6 p.m. for hearings. And in Huntertown, a new subdivision is planned, bringing 715 single-family homes to that area. Broad Acres in Eel River Township is bounded by Hathaway Road to the north, Carroll Road to the south. Streets will wind around numerous retention ponds. The plans call for the land to be rezoned first. That meeting will likely happen in mid-April. We will have more on this story tonight at 5.
Fort Wayne City Council is taking up redistricting proposals. The goal is to have as much equality as possible among the 6 Fort Wayne districts. Indiana law states that districts must have nearly equal population, follow natural boundaries, be as compact as possible, and not cross precinct boundary lines. Following the 2020 census, districts 1 through 4 have not recorded notable population changes. District 5 recorded a decrease of almost 2,400 people, and District 6 had an increase of almost 3,000. City Council has proposed 2 options to more equally balance the population.
Some of the projects that are going on, particularly with Electric Works, the Barrett Stokely projects downtown, a couple of the other apartments and condominiums that are coming up will, once they're completed, would probably see a jump in population by a few hundred anyway, maybe a couple of thousand, who knows? It's hard to say right now.
November 8th is the deadline to finalize a redrawn map. INDOT wants feedback on possible changes to a highway interchange. It's where I-469 meets US 24. The department is considering building a cloverleaf interchange, which they say would increase safety and functionality. Work would start in the winter of next year. INDOT will hold a public hearing tonight at New Haven High School. Doors open at 5 and the presentation starts at 6.
Northwest Allen County Schools is facing a lawsuit after a student's parents say that a nurse applied Vaseline to their child's genitals without consent. According to court documents, it happened last May when the child complained about an itch and was sent to the school nurse. When she applied the Vaseline, the student was sent back to class. The nurse was fired after the incident. The child's parents are asking for damages for negligence, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and battery. The amount will be determined at trial. All Allen County schools are lifting mask mandates on buses. East Allen County Schools is the latest district to do so. It comes after the CDC revised its mask guidelines last week. It no longer requires masks on transportation vehicles operated by public or private school systems. Fort Wayne Community, Southwest, and Northwest Allen County Schools have also lifted those requirements. Still to come, a local businessman is using his talents to support his home country inside its plant.
And the transgender bill for student athletes is moving to Governor Holcomb's desk, where he stands on the matter.